Here we are back at Project Mayhem Studios here at Oakland Music Complex in Oakland, California. And right behind the drum kit is the one and only Ruby Sinn. You may know this drummer from Tortured Souls and Tyrannosaurus Christ, and his name is Robert Paulson, but now behind the kit of the mighty Project Mayhem AD from the East Bay. So, when did you start playing drums and getting to be as badass as you are behind that drum kit?
I started playing music or drums. I got my first drum set when I was 15. My music origin goes from about 8. I played music with my grandfather. He had acoustic guitars, and we would have fun playing music in his bedroom, and that's kind of my origins of playing music, flipping the guitar over and banging on it. Got my first drum set when I was 15. I went through that sucker in about half a year. And then some things happened, and I was able to get this drum set that you see here in front of you.
Tama, right?
Yeah, this is a Tama Superstar, 86 Superstar. All original. It's my baby. So yeah, I've been playing music since I was a kid.
Cool. And you came up through the Bay Area scene, being a native of Bay Area, California, and some good memories with all these other bands and doing many shows over the Bay Area. But getting to the current, you guys cross state lines, I mean, how'd you feel about playing Oregon and Seattle and soon to be LA and Phoenix, looks like, coming up? So how was the time on the road, first time really as a band and you crossing state lines to go do some shows? Give me some highlights on the road trip.
It was a lot of fun to do some out-of-state shows, considering that we're very, very relatively new in a sense. All of us are very veteran musicians, starting in a really, young age. It seems like there's something different about this band. I've been part of a few bands. I pay attention to certain things, even the little things, and one of them is how a band travels. We were really young. We were about 5 months old, and we got this opportunity to go up the Northwest. And we ended up going to Portland first, and that was a little bit of a truck. We did Seattle after that. There was some interesting things that went down. We ended up, having some pretty awesome memories. I think that all of us learned a lot from it. As far as the future gigs, I'm really excited to play Whiskey A Go Go. I'm really excited to do some more out-of-state shows. It's very exciting to do this with everybody in this band because we're all have fun, and I think that's what really holds it all together. Is like we're not here for money. We're not here to be famous. We're not here to do all those things that I don't know. That's not what we're about. We're here to have fun and create a fun atmosphere. And ultimately, I think that's the one thing I can take away from it is moving forward is the amount of good times we're going to have together because it's been a ride so far.
Right on. And how was your trek to Reno? How was that experience? And that wasn't during the Washington, Oregon run, by the way, but that was a little separate thing. They went to Reno. Is that a good metal crowd out in Reno? Just let the Bay Area folks know out there and the rest of the world.
Yeah, Reno's cool. The Reno show was cool. It was a really different venue. It was like they had a bar on the top, and then underneath, like this, it was called the Cellar, is what it was. And it was like an underground vibe. It was very, very cool. The scene out there was very warm. It seemed like, they were kind of shocked. We took that crowd by the throat, and they didn't know what was going on. It was a fun time. I remember getting a great reaction. The reaction's always very good when you get off the stage. It's people don't know who you are, and then they kind of say, "Hey, you guys aren't too bad." And it's like, thank you. Reno's good vibes. I advise any, you know, up and coming bands, anyone to go check out the Reno scene. It's a fun town. Go check it out.
Right on. So, you know, you're about a year or so with this band, and you know, proud of this first record out, working on new songs for the next one. So, and then you guys get this attention from Curtain Call Records. How's it feel to have this management behind you, like, you know, pushing it? It brings it to a whole nother level that most bands never achieve in 10 or 20 years of being together. So I'm definitely proud of you guys for that, and you know, seems like a lot things are going to happen, you know, in the near future. Who knows? Maybe Florida, maybe Vegas, maybe somewhere else. So you looking forward to the next album, and give me some highlights on some songs you all are working on, and your thoughts on having a management team behind you all, and you know, just giving the Curtain Call Records a shout out, you know, for
Well, yeah,
all their hard work and energy.
big shout out to the Curtain Call Records, you know, people over there, you know, seeing something in us and giving us a chance. Brian is really, really cool so far. You know, we only have Zoom meetings, and so you don't really get to know someone too well, but he seems like one of those people who's like, he's our people, you know, he's a music person. He knows it's all about music and fun. The new songs. The new songs are, for me, very exciting because I like to create. It's very, very fun to put parts in. You know, I say this very humbly, the idea of being the conductor. I've always loved classical music. And you put in the boom, you put in the low, you take it high, you take it low, you do all these things, and it's like, you know, we're all different sections in your band. You have your, you know, just like a symphony. And so when you put these things together, it's really, really fun. You know, you can theorize it any way you want. It's one of the funnest things to do, to create music, and especially when you have the right people around you. It's like making a good
To
dish.
do it with.
The right ingredients makes a good dish. So we have a good thing going here. The new songs, all I can say is I think a lot of people are going to be very, very pleasantly surprised with the way what we are calling the new songs are, because our new album was what it was, very in your face, very straightforward, but this is going to be different. This is going to be one of those. It's going to stand out. I think it's going to stand out as opposed to, you know, some albums always sound the same, or they sound the same every single album. These songs are different. They're heavy. It's a lot of fun. I can say that the new songs are going to be what you call some ass kicking killers.
Right on.
Yeah.
And Curtain Call Records is from my hometown of Florida. Florida's always had a great rock and metal scene, and it's just really cool to have people interested from all the way across the country. So, how'd you feel about after you guys auditioned many vocalists, and then in comes Todd from Wonderland Syndrome and many other projects before, but you never thought, like many metal bands don't have a visual aspect to sound, have the visual and the audio going on. So when he brings in the UV black lighting and the glow paint, how does it feel to kind of have an image that stands out over 1,000 metal bands in the Bay Area?
You know, that's a funny thing because I'm not shy about whenever I'm wrong, and we're all human. I was kind of wrong about that. When the first time Todd brought in the idea of doing glow-in-the-dark ink and kind of creating a rave atmosphere, because I'm a traditional metalhead, I guess what you would call a traditional metalhead, those worlds didn't come together. They weren't something that meshed. And then it's like, well, don't knock it till you try it, you know. Taste the food, for Christ's sake.
Mm-hmm.
And so, give it a shot, and my mind was kind of blown. It was like I was dead wrong about this. And there's a weird buzz about it. There is a weird buzz about it. It's a lot of fun. As you can see, we're all kind of in on the gimmick now. I can say that it creates an element that is fresh and new when you have these two recipes that have never been together. And you take that club rave atmosphere, but then you bring in this hardcore music, whatever you want to call it, excuse me, hardcore music of metal or punk or whatever you want to call it. And this just creates a whole new fresh thing where we had some other bands in the Bay Area mentioned, you know, I'll give a shout out to the Angry Tunes. They were like, we needed to bring in lightsabers to compete with you guys when we went on tour. And it was kind of funny, a little giggle you have about, you know, traveling together, doing shows together. So we made them up their game, and you know, it's kind of become a thing. And you know, anytime you're challenged or you're in a competitive situation, it's going to compel you to do your best. And I'm a competitive person. I try to be humbly competitive because I want to push you to do your best because I know you can, you know, you gotta, you know, you can get something out of somebody. Like, try again. I know you can do this better. But as far as us pulling this black light stuff together, I was wrong, and you know, the proof's in the pudding. And Todd came along, and when he came along, we kind of just knew because he showed some ambition and some spark that was, not to say the other people who came in and checked out or tried out weren't cool, but he wouldn't back off. He was relentless. And we loved that. We loved that he came in prepared, he came in with ideas, and it was like finding a diamond in the rough because we went from somebody who was a very, very powerful presence on stage, very awesomely talented vocalist, just things just didn't work. We were kind of, you know, freaking out. Larry and I, for a moment, were the only two in the band, and we're like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Members were deciding to go elsewhere and go different, in different places with their lives, and we wished them the best and all those things. And we had a moment where we're like, what are we going to do? It's just us now. And we just stayed the course, and people started coming in. You know, Dwayne was like, I'm not walking away. I'm in. He just had to settle some things. Then we found Colin. He came in after a couple bass players tried out. Another diamond in the rough. These things just fell into place at the right time, the right situation, and it's been all very surreal pinch me, a lot of that. The whole Curtain Call Records and being what you want to call signed to a developmental deal, to speak in a sense. I want to see if we're worth it. They're going to see we're more than worth it, and a whole lot more. This is just the beginning of us. We're new. We have one album out. We're a Bay Area band, 2024, and there's a lot of exciting things coming. All I can say